Alright, let's get into it. Welcome to your ultimate facial playbook, everything you need to know to understand the basic facial in a way that actually makes sense. And I really want you to understand why this matters in the treatment room, because mastering the basic facial is the foundation of literally your entire career, especially if you want to specialize in skincare and facial treatments. Aesthetics can branch into so many different areas, but facials are one of the main skills you learn in esthetician school. Even if you later specialize in something else, understanding the facial process gives you the foundation to build from. So, we're starting with the Badge 1 basics. For this section, we're covering how to understand facial benefits, learn the golden skills, perfect your setup, and truly nail the basic facial. Because once you can confidently perform a basic facial, you can build from there. You can add modalities, customize your flow, develop your own style, and create a better client experience. So this is really the foundation that you need to understand. Now for Badge 2, the variations. This is where we talk about understanding different types of facials and client needs. You need to know how to teach home care. Home care is more than just saying, use this cleanser and this moisturizer. You need to understand what products you're recommending, what ingredients are in them, and why those ingredients make sense for that client's skin. If you don't understand ingredients, it becomes really hard to recommend the right home care routine. And we're going to go deeper into ingredients in another video because that topic deserves its own breakdown. You also need to understand what an express facial is, because an express facial is not the same as a full basic facial. It has a different purpose, a different timing, and a different flow. You also need to understand different skin types and skin conditions, because every client is not going to walk in with the same skin. There are so many variations, and you have to know how to adjust. And then we have men's skincare. Men are becoming more interested in skincare, and the market is growing. Men's skin can be different in certain ways, so you need to know how to work with it and keep their routine simple, clear, and effective. Now, for Badge 3, the problem solver. This is where things get serious. You need to understand acne. I don't know how to stress this enough. Acne is one of those topics you really need to study. There are even courses where you can become an acne specialist, because so many clients will come to you dealing with breakouts, clogged pores, puberty changes, inflammation, or acne-prone skin. This video is not going to go deeply into every single acne detail, but I want you to understand that acne knowledge is part of the foundation. You also need to know how to perform acne-focused treatments properly, because there are things we can do in the treatment room that may help support acne-prone skin. You also need to know how to extract safely. Extractions are not something you just rush into. You need to understand the right pressure, the right direction, what should be extracted, and what should not be touched. If you do it incorrectly, you can bruise the skin, cause inflammation, or even scar someone. And lastly, you need to know how to execute the full procedure from start to finish, from the beginning of the consultation to performing the service to giving proper home care guidance to saying goodbye. You need to have a smooth flow and stay within a proper time frame. Now let's answer the basic question: what even is a facial? A facial is a professional service designed to improve the appearance of the facial skin. Yes, people come in because they want to relax. They want the candles, the warm towels, the peaceful music, the whole spa feeling, but they're also coming because they have goals for their skin. They want brighter skin, clearer skin, smoother texture, less congestion, more hydration, or just an overall refreshed appearance. And they are looking to you to help guide them. Aesthetics is really about improving the appearance of the skin and helping people feel confident in about how they look. So now, let's talk about our esthetician superpowers. What do we actually do during a facial? First, we deep cleanse and exfoliate. This matters because we're helping remove buildup, oil, debris, and impurities from the surface of the skin. Sebum is oil, and the sebaceous glands play a huge role in oily skin, clogged pores, and breakouts. When we cleanse and exfoliate properly, we help smooth and refine the skin's texture. Exfoliation also supports healthy cell turnover because we're helping remove dead skin cells that can sit on the surface and make the skin look dull. It also helps products work better. If you apply beautiful serums or moisturizers on top of skin that hasn't been properly cleansed or exfoliated, those products may not perform the way they're supposed to, so prepping the skin matters. Another superpower is that facials can help slow down the look of premature aging. Now, of course, we cannot completely stop aging. Aging is natural. But with consistent skincare, sun protection, hydration, and professional treatments, we can help support the skin and slow the visible signs of premature aging. When the skin is well cared for, it tends to look more hydrated, smoother, firmer, and more radiant. Over time, if skin is neglected, you may see more dullness, dehydration, uneven texture, fine lines, sun damage, or hyperpigmentation. So, I always want you to remember this. The care you give your skin today shows up in the future. Consistency matters. Another superpower is that facials can help increase circulation, support lymphatic movement. We are not detoxing the body in a medical sense, but facial massage and proper movements can support blood flow, reduce puffiness, and help the skin look more awake and refreshed. That circulation can give the skin a natural glow. It can help tired, dull-looking skin look more revived. And another major superpower is relaxation. Touch is powerful. During a facial, the way you touch the skin, the pressure you use, your rhythm, your massage movements, all of that affects the client's experience. Facial massage can help relieve tension, calm the nervous system, relax the facial muscles, and create that feeling where the client gets up like, wow, I feel so refreshed. It is the experience, the touch, the care, and the intention behind it. But with all these superpowers, we also have boundaries, our kryptonite. These are things that we do not do as estheticians. We have to stay in our lane because our license and our client safety matters. We do not diagnose medical conditions. We do not treat cystic acne. We do not treat rosacea. We can help soothe and support sensitive skin, but we do not diagnose or medically treat rosacea. We are not dermatologists. We are not doctors. If something looks super severe, unusual, infected, or outside of your scope, refer the client to a dermatologist or medical provider. That protects you and it protects the client. Now let's talk about the 4 golden skills of an esthetician. The first golden skill is skin knowledge. You need to understand histology, which is just the study of the skin. You need to understand the layers of the skin analysis, and ingredient science. You are basically a skin scientist in the treatment room. If you don't know how the skin works, it becomes very hard to treat it correctly. The second golden skill is retail and consultation. At the end of the day, you're not just giving a facial, you're building a partnership with your client. You need to know how to consult them properly, understand their concerns, and recommend home care that actually supports their skin goals. And the third golden skill is ongoing education. Skincare is always growing. There are new modalities, new ingredients, new techniques, and new research constantly coming out. You can take classes, attend conferences, watch educational trainings, join webinars, study ingredients, and keep building your knowledge. This industry rewards the people who keep learning. The fourth golden skill is diligence and organization. You cannot give a professional service in a chaotic space. Your room, your tray, your products, your timing, your sanitation, all of that matters. Clients trust organized, educated professionals. If your tray is messy, your products are everywhere, or you don't know what comes next, it breaks the spa vibe. A clear space helps create a clear mind. One trick I like is once I finish using a product, I move it to a different section of my cart so I can clearly see what I still need to use next on the client. That keeps your flow clean and prevents confusion. This is why organization matters so much in the treatment room. It can literally be the difference between a client trusting you or not coming back. Now, let's move into the skin detective setup and analysis. As an esthetician, you need to think like a skin detective. You are there to observe, analyze, and protect the skin. And if there's one thing I want you to remember, it is this. Barrier protection comes first, always. Before the client even arrives, your supply should be organized. Review the intake form. Look for contraindications, which are basically red flags that tell you whether the service should be adjusted, delayed, or referred out. For example, if a client has open wounds, severe irritation, or a condition that looks outside of your scope, you need to pause and make the safest decision. That is why consultation matters. A helpful acronym is L.T.A.L. Look, touch, ask, listen. First look, use your magnifying lamp, check pore size, uneven color, breakouts, irritation, or anything that stands out. Then touch. Feel for elasticity, roughness, dehydration, or texture changes. Of course, this is done professionally and appropriately during skin analysis. Then ask. Ask the client what their main concerns are today. What are they noticing? What are their goals? What products are they using at home? Then listen. Really listen to their lifestyle, stress, diet, routine, and habits. Everything they tell you is a part of the skin story. You want to look for obvious skin conditions. Feel the skin's texture and elasticity, ask about concerns and lifestyle, listen for stress, diet clues, choose the right products, and then document everything on your client chart. Because if that client comes back, you need records. You need to know what you used, what you noticed, what improved, and what still needs support. No guesswork. Because when you guess, you can choose the wrong product, and the wrong product can lead to irritation, redness, dehydration, discomfort, clogged pores, or worse. You cannot treat what you don't understand. That's why this method keeps you aligned. When you understand the client's skin condition, triggers, lifestyle, product compatibility, and treatment goals, you can make better decisions. And the result is calmer skin, more hydrated skin, better balance, and a happier client. Your knowledge literally changes your results. So remember, facials are not random. There is a method behind every single step. Okay, now let's get into the key steps, the 3 phases of a facial. The easiest way to remember the full facial flow is prep, treat, and finish. In the prep phase, you prepare the client's skin and set the tone for the results. In the treat phase, you work the skin with intention using proper techniques and professional care. And in the finish phase, you lock in the glow, protect the skin, and guide the client on what they do after they leave. So let's start with phase 1, prep. This begins with consultation. You need to talk to your client, understand their needs, ask about their concerns, and look for any conditions or contraindications that may affect the service. Then we cleanse. Cleansing removes surface buildup and gives you a clearer view of the skin. After that, you analyze before you treat. Use your magnifying lamp, look closely, pay attention to what the skin is telling you before you start applying products. Now we move into phase 2, treat. This is where we work the skin, stimulate, correct, and nourish. First, exfoliation. Exfoliation helps remove dullness, smooths texture, and prepares the skin for the next steps. Then massage. Massage helps improve circulation, relax tension, and even calm the client. This is really where your touch matters the most. Then steam or warm towels. Steam can soften the skin and prepare it for the next part of the treatment, especially if extractions are appropriate. Then extractions if needed. This is where you clear congestion, but you have to be gentle, careful, and safe. Not everything should be extracted. Then masking. Masks are so important because they help target the client's skin needs. Depending on the mask, they may help hydrate, soothe, nourish, brighten, or restore balance to the skin barrier. Now let's talk about phase 3, finish. This is the final part of the facial, and it matters so much because this is where we seal everything in and protect the skin. This can include toner or mist, serum, moisturizer, and SPF. Toner or mist helps refresh and rebalance the skin. Serum targets specific skin concerns. Moisturizer helps lock in hydration. And SPF protects the skin from sun damage, which is so important, especially after professional exfoliation or treatment. Then we end with post-care guidance. This is where you tell the client how to care for their skin after the service and what products or habits will support their results. And girl, don't stress this. If you can remember the basic flow, prep, treat, finish, you are already building a strong foundation. Now let's talk about why the order matters. The order always matters. You need to prep the skin before you treat it. If you apply serum on the skin that has not been cleansed or exfoliated properly, you're not setting the product up to do its best work. Without prep, you may get clogged pores, uneven texture, no glow, and wasted product. But when you prep correctly, cleansing removes dirt, oil, and buildup. Exfoliation helps clear dead skin and smooth the surface. Then serum can absorb better and target the client's concerns more effectively. That's when you start seeing better results, clearer pores, a natural glow, and healthier looking skin. So remember this, prep before treatment, always. Now let's talk about express facials, because this is a concept that can get mixed up. An express facial is usually about 15 to 30 minutes. It's great for clients who are short on time, maybe on a lunch break. But an express facial does not mean you rush. It means you edit the facial down to the essentials. So think, cleanse and mask. That's the core of it. A full basic facial may include consultation, cleansing, analysis, exfoliation, steam, massage, extractions, masks, finishing products, and post-care. But an express facial usually skips the longer steps like steam, massage, and extractions. It's a quicker service, but it should still feel intentional, professional, and complete for the time allowed. So when you think express facial, think quick glow, high impact, less time. Now I want to touch on something that gets confused a lot in skincare, dry skin versus dehydrated skin. This is so important because you will see all the time in the treatment room. Dry skin lacks oil. Dehydrated skin lacks water. That's the simplest way to remember it. Dry skin is a skin type. It does not produce enough oil or sebum. It may feel tight, flaky, rough, dull. The pores may look smaller. Dry skin usually needs richer, creamier oil-based products to help support the skin barrier. So, dry skin needs oil. Dehydrated skin is a skin condition. It lacks water, and any skin type can be dehydrated. Even oily skin can be. That's why somebody can look shiny and still be dehydrated. Dehydrated skin may look dull, thin, crepey, or show superficial fine lines, especially around the forehead or under the eyes. It may also feel tight even if the skin is oily. This can happen because of transepidermal water loss, which means water is escaping from the skin. Dehydrated skin needs water-binding ingredients like hyaluronic acid and hydrating serums. It also needs products that help reduce water loss and support the barrier. So, dehydrated skin needs water. This matters in the treatment room because if you put heavy oils on dehydrated oily skin, you may make congestion and breakouts worse. So always ask yourself, does this client need oil or does this client need water? That one question can save you from choosing the wrong product. Now let's talk about what I like to call the skin detective matrix. This is where you start connecting what you see to what the skin may need. For mature or aging skin, you may see fine lines, sagging, dullness, loss of firmness. The deeper causes may include loss of collagen and elastin, UV damage, and slower cell turnover. The treatment goal is usually to hydrate, revitalize, smooth, and support firmness. Ingredients or treatments that may be helpful include peptides, AHAs, hydrating masks, and treatments that support renewal and nourishment. For sensitive or rosacea-prone skin, you may see redness, visible blood vessels, broken capillaries, or skin that gets irritated easily. The goal here is not to attack the skin. The goal is to calm, soothe, and protect the barrier. No harsh heat, no excessive or aggressive scrubs, no strong exfoliation without caution. You want calming ingredients, gentle products, cool tools, and barrier supporting care. This matters because treating sensitive skin like normal skin with hot steam or harsh products is one of the fastest ways to lose a client. Always soothe first, barrier protection first. For hyperpigmentation, you may see patches that are dark, uneven tone, post-acne marks, sunspots, or age spots. The main cause can include inflammation, UV exposure, acne, hormones, or conditions that trigger excessive melanin production. The goal is to brighten, even the tone, prevent future damage, and protect the skin. Ingredients that may help include vitamin C, kojic acid, arbutin, and gentle exfoliants such as lactic acid, depending on the client's skin. And SPF is non-negotiable, because if a client is trying to treat hyperpigmentation but is not using sunscreen, they are fighting against their own results. For oily or problematic skin, you may see larger pores, excess shine, blackheads, clogged pores, and congestion, especially in the T-zone area. The culprit is usually just overactive sebaceous glands combined with trapped dead skin cells. The goal is to deep cleanse, exfoliate, balance oil, and perform safe extractions when appropriate. Helpful ingredients may include salicylic acid, clay mask, and gentle products that reduce congestion without stripping the skin. And this is key. Overstripping oily skin can make it produce even more oil to compensate. So balance is everything. Now let's break down the anatomy of a breakout. If you want to work with breakout-prone skin, you need to understand what is happening underneath the surface. Stage 1 is the normal pore. The sebaceous gland produces healthy oil to keep the skin protected, hydrated, and balanced. Oil is not bad. Healthy oil flow is part of healthy skin. Stage 2 is the blockage, also called a comedone. Dead skin cells and sebum form a plug. Oil is still being produced, but it cannot flow out properly. That trapped oil can lead to blackheads and whiteheads. When flow slows down, congestion begins. Stage 3 is the papule. Bacteria can become trapped under the plug and multiply. The skin reacts by increasing blood flow to the area, which causes redness, tenderness, and inflammation. This is where the breakout becomes more irritated and painful. Then stage 4 is the pustule. White blood cells rush in to fight the bacteria. Pus forms, a mix of dead skin cells, bacteria, and fluid that creates swollen pimple head that you can see on the surface. This is an immune response, and this is why clients should not pick at their breakouts. Picking can push bacteria deeper, increase inflammation, causing more breakouts, and lead to scarring or dark marks that can last for years. So when you understand the breakout stages, you can better understand why acne needs to be patience, proper care, and safe technique. Now let's talk about men's skincare. Men's skin can be different because of physiology. Men typically have larger pores and more active sebaceous glands, which can mean more oil production. They may also experience surface dehydration from harsh soaps, hot showers, shaving, or using those 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 products on their face. A common concern men have is razor burn or shaving irritation. So when working with men, keep the routine simple. Don't overwhelm them with a long, complicated skincare routine. Think simple, effective, and realistic. Cleanser, moisturizer, SPF, maybe a treatment product if needed. Also, packaging and product feel may matter. Some men prefer products that feel lightweight, simple, and not overly fragrant. This matters because men are a growing market in aesthetics. When you make them feel comfortable and understood, you can build strong client loyalty. Now, let's talk about extraction safety. The golden rule: always wear gloves. Extractions can expose you to blood, fluid, bacteria, and other contamination risk. You need to protect yourself and the client. You can use fingers wrapped in cotton or gauze, or a metal comedone extractor, depending on your training and your school or state guidelines. But the pressure should always be gentle. Gentle, gentle. You are not forcing the skin, you are working with the skin. For infection control, reusable metal tools must be properly cleaned, disinfected, and sterilized, according to your training and local regulations. Know your state laws, know your protocols, know what you are allowed to do. And never extract cystic acne or deep nodules. This should be referred to a dermatologist or medical provider. Improper extractions can cause bruising, ruptured follicles, infection, scarring, and inflammation. So please do not play with extractions. Learn the technique, practice safely, respect the skin. Now we're at the final boss, a little quiz to test what we learned. Case File A. A client arrives with tight, coarse skin, but they complain of a greasy forehead. What is the skin condition and what type of ingredient would help? Pause and think about it. It's okay to pause if you need. Okay, the answer is the skin is dehydrated. It lacks water, not necessary oil. So instead of immediately adding heavy oils, think hydration. A water-binding ingredient like hyaluronic acid can help attract and hold water in the skin. Hydrating serums can help plump and support the skin barrier. So remember, even oily skin can be dehydrated. Now for case file B. A businessman needs to look fresh for a meeting in 30 minutes, but he has heavy razor burn. What is your plan? Alright, pause and think. Alright, the answer. Perform an express facial. Skip the steam and extractions because his skin is already irritated. Focus on a gentle cleanse and a calming mask. Cleanse and mask. Simple, soothing, and intentional. He has limited time and his skin needs calm, not more irritation. A calm approach creates lasting results. And that's it. You made it through. You earned your badge. You now understand the skin, the steps, the safety rules, and why facials are not random. You're not just doing facials, you're helping improve the skin, build confidence, and create an experience clients can trust. So keep practicing, keep studying, keep asking questions, and keep learning. Your knowledge is your superpower in this industry, and your clients are going to be counting on you. I want to thank you all for watching this video, giving me your time, and also investing this time in yourself. Because when you invest time into yourself in order to improve yourself as an esthetician, that's what sets you apart from the others. This is a continuous learning process, so I just want to thank you for investing into yourself. Thank you for watching this video, and tune in for the next one. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, and continue to shine on. Let that skin glow and let that light inside of you shine. Peace, y'all.